Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is a special conversation where we're going to be having Blue Star management here with us on the program to try and understand how the ongoing festive season is panning out for the consumer durables giant, coupled with the GST bonanza benefits that are coming in. How is it really helping the consumers reap the benefits of cheaper pricing for room air conditioners, refrigerators, and of course we're trying to understand, for the company at large, what this festive season will entail, to what kind of growth forecast will they have from this ongoing bonanza as well. Mr. B. Thiagarajan, the Managing Director of Blue Star India, is joining in to share with us more insights on the same. Warm welcome to you, Mr. Thiagarajan. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Well, you're somebody who's had a career spanning over 4 decades. You've been instrumental in shaping the trajectory of one of India's leading air conditioning and refrigeration spaces and companies as well. So thank you so much for taking the time out for this conversation. Nobody better can help us understand how has the industry benefited from these recent reforms that have been announced by the government as well. So first up, your thought on how the first 1 week of Navratri has it panned out for you as a company, sir?
Good morning, Sakshi. It is a pleasure interacting with you. The first 1 week, as you're aware, on September 22nd, the new GST regime came into force. I would say in the past 6 days, it has gone as per the plan. First of all, there was a pent-up demand from August 15th onwards. Individual customers who stopped buying, and there were some bookings. And I would say September to September, I think it is around 20% growth we are witnessing. And it is not a season for air conditioners, but having said that, this 20% growth gives us the confidence that building up to Diwali, it should be a great season ahead. And to recap, for the room air conditioner industry, the summer season was a disappointing one because there were intermittent rains across the country. And against the 25% growth that was planned, it was frankly a negative growth of 15 to 20%. So there were inventory pile up, and one was looking at the festival season. And even otherwise, without even the GST benefit, the festival season was expected to do well. But GST benefit is an icing on the cake. And going forward, this industry can look forward to making up what was lost in the summer season.
Okay, so will the entire lost ground be able to get offset with the GST benefits, sir, or will there be still some differential? What do you expect?
If you go back to the years when summer season was not happening, sales was not happening, still the industry would end up with 5 to 10% growth. Now with the GST benefit, I think it is possible for the industry to go ahead and close the financial year with even 15 to 20% growth. There is one more factor here. There is a energy label change which is coming into effect with effect from January 1. And therefore, there will be purchases in prior to that. There will be purchases post that. Both happens during a energy label change here. Someone wants to buy today's 5 star. Someone is waiting for the new 5 star and end up buying that. Now,
Okay.
the huge reduction that has happened in GST rates, up to around rupees 5,000 rupee reduction, means also there are changes in the consumer behavior. Say, for example, someone who wanted to buy one air conditioner for a new apartment he is moving into today will think that, look, the prices have come down, little more money I have to put, but why don't I buy two air conditioners instead of one? That is one set of behavior.
Okay.
The second one is that, look, I would have waited for a couple of more years, but I will end up buying because you are enticed into buying because of this reduction. The third thing is, yeah, person who wanted to buy a 3-star will end up buying a 5-star. So the consumer behavior also changes whenever such big things happen, and GST reduction is a very big thing.
Absolutely. So, Mr. Thiagarajan, just to give us an understanding, more clarity to all our wider audiences, at the start of the fiscal year 2026, you were expecting somewhere around a 25 to 30% growth. This was dampened because of the weak summer, like you pointed out, because of the erratic rainfalls that we had. And therefore, you brought down the expectation to somewhere around 15%, if I am not wrong.
10 to 15, we said. It is
10 to
still
15%.
possible.
And now because of the GST rate cuts, what is that projection to now? Is it to 20%?
That is right. It is
Okay.
possible. It is very much possible.
Fair point. So that is understood that now for the full year growth, there is an expectation that a 20% growth rate is what we could see. This is largely led by the festive season along with the GST rate cuts. Help us understand, like you were pointing out, sir, of course, for consumer behaviors across the ranges, what is the kind of price cuts that people are getting because of GST on products, sir?
Anywhere between 3,000 rupees to 5,000 rupees, depending on the model.
Okay,
Because
3,000 to 5,000.
straight away that 10% is being passed on. So there is
Complete pass on. Okay, it's a complete pass on straight away of 10% in the range of 3 to 5,000 rupees in terms of the ranges. That is being clearly being witnessed at this point in time. Now let's try and understand, sir, with the this festive season sales that usually come in for you last couple of years, if you could mark out for us, just for a better understanding of our average viewer and investor out there, what is the kind of bump up in sales that you are expecting only in the festive season, sir, vis-a-vis the previous few festive seasons?
going by the past 5 days. I think it is somewhere around 15 to 20%. So, see, one more thing also we should keep in mind. There is the savings that consumer is getting is across many categories, right? Even from food or other items. Therefore, there is a disposable income angle. That is the first part of it. The second is equally, I am not the only category fighting for the share of the wallet of the consumer. He can buy a two-wheeler, he can go and invest in some other consumer durable. But given that the penetration levels are lower, room air conditioner is the category. If you walk into a retail store, the largest selling consumer durable has been for the past couple of years in value terms, it is air conditioners, not even mobile phones, because this category is on that cusp of a high growth path with a projected CAGR of 19%. So therefore, we are confident that somewhere around 15 to 20% growth festival season to festival season. That is the expectation. The indications are also that the e-commerce platforms are doing well in their, the annual sales events.
Actually, that was the point that I wanted to discuss next with you, sir. So thanks for bringing that out. What is the kind of response during this festive season in online versus the offline, demand that you're seeing at this point in time? What has usually been the trend for you in terms of where the sales demand comes in more, and what is going to be the difference this time around?
There is a convergence that is happening. During a sale day, there may be more, engagement of the consumers there. Increasingly, we find the consumers do their research in their e-commerce platforms, end up buying in the store. And there are people who do the research in the physical brick and mortar stores and end up buying over e-commerce. The category today, the air conditioners, somewhere around 12% is the share it has got as far as the e-commerce platforms are concerned. But look at the consumer. Consumer at any point of a time will be aware at what price, what model is being sold by which e-commerce channel. So the information is available. So therefore, when it comes to the retail, specifically modern retail, there is clear convergence. One will not be able to say that I am selling at a different price here also. And equally, all the modern retail or the regional power retailers, they also offer through e-commerce. So as far as we are concerned, the truth is it is omni-channel presence is important, and you should be able to provide that experience to consumers across. So we don't look at things differently at all. So in terms of the purchasing behavior of a e-commerce platform or a modern retail like Chroma or Vijay Sales or Reliance Digital, it will be one and the same, right? And therefore the indication is there is a sale happening, and they are promoting that sale, and there should be more consumers going there and trying to buy. That gives you in that few days what is the trend seem to be very encouraging. Those sale events are generating huge response, which should translate in the coming days building up to Diwali in other channels as well.
Okay.
That is
Uh,
that is
s-
that is equally important for us for a different reason as well. That
okay.
the customer experience, you need to on the ground delivery installation. That team will have to be created and be ready. And more than 40% of the consumers buy through consumer finance. That means with the consumer finance companies, pre-approvals and that part of the machinery, that is also kept ready. Because between now and Diwali will be a huge period if you want to really acquire that market share.
Okay. So also wanted to just get an understanding of how are you looking at the demand spread between metros and non-metros. In my earlier conversations, you've also pointed out, sir, it's the non-metros where you actually see a higher amount of sales as well. So how is the picture developing in this festive season?
See, my view is the India's growth. It is going to be driven, and it is being driven already, and it will be more so in the coming years. Aspirational middle class, and the middle class population itself is expanding in a rapid way, and therefore it is important for the brands to realize this. The second part is it is going to be driven by the growth in tier 3, 4, 5 towns, which in our case constitutes 65% of the sales. So that is important. The third part is that the people are beginning to consume as in advance, which means credit cards or the consumer finance. These instruments are used extensively, and this is another trend. And now, in this context, if you look at it, it is going to be also entry level products. You have to have the products at all price points. Now, for air conditioner industry, it is, already there is a installed base of currently, if you estimate, my estimate is somewhere around 70 million air conditioners will be there across the country, and many of them, the population that is exceeding 7 year period is becoming significant. That means from now on there is going to be significant opportunity for replacement market as well, and we are governed by the e-waste EPR regulation. So therefore, you are going to be witnessing a golden period for room air conditioners business.
Okay, fantastic. So also help us out. You did say that, there was a pent up demand. People were holding back since the announcement was made by Prime Minister on 15th of August. There was an expectation that in the near future, the announcement will come in and people were holding back their purchases. What does that do to your Q2? And of course, what is your overall expectation for Q3? Will Q3 be a higher bump up that you see in the earnings front, sir?
It's not that people were holding back. We ourselves were very clear that why a consumer should forego the benefit. It's not yeah, peak summer season. He will not suffer. And therefore, we were telling that, look, you can book it or you please hold on. And that's what dealers were also doing. That it is better for you to wait. And we were anticipating that it will be done sometime. It has been done at a record time. There is no doubt about it in such a big reform. And the portals are working well. And that it is worth the wait. So there is no problem with that. And a consumer durable for a home, once he decides to buy, at some point of a time he has to buy. So we are not a company worried about this quarter or next quarter. We know the quarterly results are important, but fortunately for us, we are a B2B as well as B2C company. And for a B2B customer, GST change doesn't matter because he will avail the input tax
Right.
credit. So I don't know the how it will be for the simple reason traditionally the last 3 days sale peaks actually, especially in a quarter ending month, 28, 29, 30th sale will be very high. What I'm guessing is that it will not be bad.
Okay,
Uh,
fantastic.
that is my guess. And but in any case, the thing is, um, quarterly that number, especially when an event like this has taken place, it is quite understandable.
Okay, fair point. Thank you so much, Mr. Thiagarajan, then for being with us and for explaining to us all the aspects there that are leading to, an uptick as far as the room AC conditioner space is concerned and your overall sales expectations because of the GST cut bonanza as well as the festive spirit. I wish you well for the festive season, sir. Thank you so much for giving us your time, and we will see you around by the end of the festive season by Diwali to understand more about these insights as we get more numbers, sir.
We will indeed. In the meanwhile, best wishes to you, Sakshi, and your audience. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much, sir. Appreciate your time, truly. Thank you so much. All right, viewers, there you heard it from Mr. B. Thiagarajan. One, clearly an expectation now because of the GST cuts that this time around, the expectation for FY26 on a growth forecast basis has been increased from earlier 10 to 15%, now to about 15 to 20% as well. This sales for this festive season vis-a-vis the last few ones will also be as a growth of 15 to 20% is what Mr. Thiagarajan did point out. He also did say that a golden period of room ACs is going to be beginning. So keep an eye out on all of these aspects. I hope this is giving you enough and more understanding of how the festive season is panning out for such consumer durable giants. Stay tuned with us. Much more coming on your screens next.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to you on our special show Market Guru, where you meet the finest professionals on Dalal Street, people who have